What's up, guys? And welcome back to another live podcast episode. Today, we are sitting down with the Australian Army veteran and hand to hand combat instructor. This episode is about one thing only, what the Army really does to you. Chet, great to have you here.
Absolute pleasure to be here, and I respect everything that you've.
Thank you. So, thank you for that, for this kind of words. So my first question is, why did you join? Why?
Okay, so as a country folk,
Yes.
No.
Why did you?
kicked off, and it was basically a political war that instilled the let's fight counterterrorism, let's get through that. And my brother joined first. He went to Iraq. He served a pretty rough tour. I joined straight after, being the older brother, and I was like, if my brother's had it rough, I'll test his fortitude and I'll go harder. Things led to things. Me and my brother served for multiple years. He left earlier than me. I stayed on, and probably was the worst choice I ever made. I'm glad that I did it for my brothers and for my comrades. And yeah, what else?
So why did you join? Sorry, when did you first realize this is not normal life anymore?
God, through basic training, when, they strip your bed, throw it out in the hallway and say there's a hygiene issue and you've got to remake your bed, and it builds discipline, it builds structure. It wasn't molding a different person to who they are. It's molding a soldier to be disciplined in their actions in warfare and look after their mates 100% of the time. So it was quite funny. The idiosyncrasies I look at now, back in life, I think there was a reason behind it. It was building structure, discipline, and raw action. And those words resonated with me the most through my career. It's not about hate. It's not about religion. It's not about race. It is 100% your brother beside you. And, I had black friends, I had white friends, I had caramel friends, but it's not that. Building the structure for a warfighter to stand with your brother through thick and thin, and not dob on him. Like, if you dobbed on a brother, like, you got worse punishment than ever. It's like you clean the shitters, you clean the toilets. That was horrible. You never
can
dobbed
imagine
on
that.
someone because you end up in worse trouble than anything. It was all there to help people realize that in the trenches you would fight for your brother. So it built a comradeship that is unfathomed. You can't break. Like, my boys that I know now in battalions, platoons, you can't break that bond. No matter what you say on social media, we're like, oh, he's just having a bad day. These G's are legit. You'd go to war with them and you'd back them 100%. And that's from the heart, man. That's from the warfighter's heart. God bless everyone that died.
So my next question is, what was your first week like? What actually shocked you?
Ooh, blood trauma. Putting a cat tourniquet on in blood trauma, but we're trained to do it. So in hindsight, it's either you let someone die and bleed out, or you help them survive to the best capability of your training. So that kicks in. And that comes a lot down to repetition training, taking action, taking those steps where you read the doctrine in your own time. You can get a massive car accident next year, and by law you can't take action. But what do we do? What do we do with someone that is trained in it? We take action. So we take our belt off, we tourniquet a leg or arm or whatever, stop the stem of blood flow. It might be painful. They might cry. They might sue you later. But good luck in court when you save their life. You know what I mean? Same in warfare. All your goal is to save their life. So that's what we're trained to do, and that's how we acted in wartime. Yeah, pretty simple.
Was there a moment where you thought you might quit?
Never.
Never?
Never a moment in my heart. I would never quit on my brothers. I would never quit in my sisters. Like, you know, my brothers are my brothers. I'd stay in the trench with them from the day I die. The day my last breath, I would stay in the trench with my brothers. Like I would sacrifice myself. It's funny. I got a story for that actually. So I was sitting on a picket in a Overwatch position, and we used to take Overwatch timing. So the next person would have their little alarm set on their watch, and they'd come out and tap you on the shoulder and go, "Yeah, I'll replace you." Well, I was on from 11:30 at night till 6 a.m. in the morning until the next person replaced me. And I'll tell you what, in the middle of the jungle in Queensland, where you're hearing noises non-stop all night, you don't have a schmick what's going on time zone, and you're sitting on the gun waiting for the enemy to come. And even being a fake enemy, a role-playing enemy, you're sitting there the whole time. He didn't wake up. So old mate had left his position and gone straight to his bed in his farter sack. And I was left there left at night at 6 a.m. in the morning. The SSM come round. He's like, "Are you serious? You've been here all night?" I said, "Yes, sir." And this is a young digger. And he goes, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I don't know, but I'm sitting here on the night vision and now it's daytime and I can see everything." And he's like, he was ropeable, not at me. His frustration was taken out on me, but he was more ropeable than the person that went to sleep. So the person that went to sleep ended up doing the same amount of hours I did that night during the same night, and everyone swapped in and out, and he had to sit there. Yeah, that was a peace of mind for me. I was like, yeah, fuck you, sort of thing.
So, what was the hardest day you remember?
Hardest I remember. Oh, this is easy. This is very easy for me. Afghanistan 2012, losing Milo, Pody, and Mardo, and also 2 commandos that died in a tragic accident for a helicopter crash, which was coincidentally the same day that my son was born while I was deployed. So I couldn't contact them. My mates had died. Like, I was a very emotional person at that time, and that resonated very deep with me. And I think that was the turning point in my mindset where I knew that, life can be taken away so quickly. It can be given quickly. It can be taken away so quickly. You have to take action now.
That's true.
And may God bless their souls and may they rest in peace.
Wow, this was very heart touching. I am sorry
But you asked the question, bro.
I am sorry you go through this. I'm so sorry for this. Like, it's not easy.
That was in Afghanistan 2012.
Wow. So my next topic is training and combat reality. So what is the real difference between movie fights and real combat?
Oh, you watch movies. You want to hear the real fact?
Yeah.
They are getting good at what they do with the reload, and you look at the actors like John Wick, for instance. The actor,
Yeah, I know.
actually went through the gun courses and the movements, and he's quite proficient at that. But to carry that out in a heated moment through combat action is another level. Like, if you look at Ben Robert Smith, and I'll bring him up because Australia has, the government and media have failed him. He is our most decorated soldier. He has lived that life. He's lived the John Wick life, and they have failed him supremely. And it hurts my soul that military members, Australian, American, Czech, Slovakian, you name it, their special elite forces are that for a reason. They train hard, they train tactically, they train with precision, and they will kill you. With it, you wouldn't even blink and you'd be done. And that's the difference between movies and actual warfare. Movies, they have scenes, they have sets, they have, okay, you're going to fly from this position. It never happens in real life. Like, people that win VCs, Medal of Gallantries, Medal of Honors, those sorts of things, take acts of their own lives, some, and may they rest in peace, God bless them, have died for their sacrifices to win those medals. They are basically awarded after death. In the movies, it's all for play. Like, look at Rambo. 1,000 kills in one scene. You're like, it never happens. But if you look at, a special forces soldier from any country, they'll storm a fully loaded gun pit by themselves, taking bullet wounds and clearing the gun pit and die or survive. It's all about their bond between their mates and looking after their friends. The boys in the movies, they portray that, but they don't act it in real life. So that's the difference, I think, between movies and real life is you got humans like Ben Robert Smith that would do that. You got movies like, I don't know, what's the greatest war hero in your country?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Truly.
Like he probably stormed full gunfire.
Yeah, that's true.
In open field to draw the fire away from his friends. It's a split decision you make, and that's the decision that separates you from manhood to feminism.
That's true.
It's where your bollocks become ovaries, or you got the testosterone to look after your blokes. Sorry, you asked. Like, that's the opinion. But you look at the amount of heavy machinery, gunfire, and everything that went on, and you don't hear names that storm those because they're on a plaque and they've got their Medal of Honor, or they got their Victoria Crosses, or they got their country's highest honors, but they're dead. They're deceased because they took the raw action needed to protect their brothers. And that's the one thing about military you will never understand, or anyone will ever understand. I will still to this day take a bullet for every one of my brothers.
Nice. That's real honor. So my next question is, right now we are going to talk about mindset and aftermath. So my next question is, what part of you never come back after the army?
Emotion, which is why I'm actually quite good at crypto, because I have no emotion.
Yeah.
But I regret that as well with my family, because I really don't have emotion when it comes to, my girls, and they're like, oh, this happened and that happened. I'm like, oh, well, get over it. Emotional connection.
What stayed with you mentally after you left?
Oh, good one. What stayed mentally after I left? Discipline and resolve, mental resolve. The fact that I can hold my own discipline and mental resolve to accountability. And accountability is another one. I'm accountable for every action I take. I am mentally resolving those as well. Every action I take accountability. It's on me. It's not on anyone else. Discipline is 100% what I can take out of the military. I can be out in public and get spat on and everything in my medals and walk proudly with my head held high, discipline. I can get up in the morning, do push-ups, sit-ups within my means, within my medical means as well. And that's discipline. 6 a.m. alarm set. I get up at 5:45. What's that? Discipline.
Yeah.
It's instilled discipline. You know what's on.
Discipline is the key for everything.
Like, without discipline, how do you live life? You need to be disciplined in the way you eat. You need to be disciplined in the way you train. You need to be disciplined in the way you live your life. Otherwise, you're in shambles. How can you not be disciplined in life and succeed?
That's true.
Discipline and raw action are two in one.
That's true.
You can't have one without the other. Discipline and raw action work together.
So, is the reality of military very different from how it's presented publicly?
Yes and no. Yes and no in some countries, as you know. But yes and no. A disciplined force is a formidable force, but a showed disciplined force is not a formidable force. You would see it on mainstream media. Let's take China, for instance, and I'm not having a dig at China. They will show their parades and their soldiers marching and so on. Does America do that? Does Australia do that? Yes, we do it on Anzac days. We do it on commemorative parades. They will do that as a show of force. So the difference between that, even Russia don't show it. I don't think any of the Arab countries show it either, but I'm sure they are highly disciplined and highly effective soldiers. But the way that the media portrays it and how it's presented in media says that that's a disciplined force. Well, not entirely. You might march and walk a certain way, but can you fight and carry yourself a certain way? And that's the difference between a disciplined force and a non-showing disciplined force. A non-showing disciplined force is more scary than someone that puts something on media as a disciplined force. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah. So I'm sure in your country you wouldn't even know what your special forces do.
That's true.
You don't even see them on social media.
No.
You know why?
Why?
Because they're out there training, they're taking action,
Mm-hmm.
and they're showing you
Mm-hmm.
secretly that they can protect your ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't need media with 500 soldiers marching down a parade ground in certain sync. Because what's that going to do in warfare? Warfare is not certain sync, is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. If you ever jumped in a Call of Duty game, which I actually laugh at, because you can jump in a Call of Duty game and everyone's chaotic. That's warfare.
True.
In real life, because you got spastics carrying guns that will actually shoot you. And it's how you act and react to situations that makes you elite.
Mm-hmm. What is this? Is the biggest lesson every young man should learn from your experience?
Good one. Damn, G, you put that on me. Damn, well, that's a good one. That is a really tough question because everyone is their own person. How you act, how you behave, how you have resolve, how you have compassion, how you have aggression, it all comes into account. So as a young G, maybe I could probably say one word of advice to them. Discipline is key. If you're bullied, walk away. If you are overwhelmed, walk away. Learn a martial art. Take in something that gives you satisfaction. Also, the skills to handle yourself in a situation that you are overwhelmed with. Never use your emotions as a tool to be the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
Always hone your emotions to the point where you can control them enough to protect yourself, but never take a life.
Mm-hmm.
Be humble in life. Respect other people. You never know how much respect you're going to get back just for that. If things get tough, always remember there is someone out there that is doing it the hard way. The hard way will always be the winning way as well. Most people that come from a hard background are successful. If you Google search most billionaires and millionaires, they've come from hardship. They've come from tough lives. They have sacrificed a lot. Be who you are and respect everyone the same,
Mm-hmm.
but also don't be afraid to stand up for your own values and keep your humility close to your chest.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know. That's from my heart, bro. So
no,
always
was
back
good.
yourself, man. Always back
was good.
yourself and never back down.
It was good. So chat, I appreciate you coming and share this.
Yeah, bro.
And if you got something from this episode, make sure like, subscribe, and let us know what is your biggest takeaway. And I see you on the next one.
Hey, absolutely respect, my brother. And I appreciate your time as well. I'm humbled to be on your podcast and I really appreciate you, bro.
Thank
Keep doing you and get at
Thank
it,
you.
mate.
Thank you. But
Tristan,
bye, guys.
have him on. Tristan, have him on.
Yeah, that's true. So bye, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Appreciate you.